It was a very special day. Today is Couples Day, which only comes once a year. What could Lars have had in mind when he asked me to meet him in an empty classroom? My heart was racing with anticipation as I headed towards my destination. Upon arriving at the classroom, I opened the door. Wow! What is all of this? Instead of Lars, I found the room to be completely filled with heart-shaped balloons. Lars? Lars, are you in here?
Yeah, I see. Is that you?
When I called out, I could hear him straining to respond. Lars, where are you? Say something! I immediately went wading into the balloons in search of him. I soon found him lying on the ground, buried under their mass. Lars, hang in there! I managed to sit Lars up, but received no response from him. This is horrible. What happened in here? First I need to make sure he's okay. I laid him back down, then took a deep breath and placed my lips over his. Just then, his arms wrapped around me, and he pulled me closer while turning my attempt to resuscitate him into a kiss. Lars?
Thanks. That really brought me back to life.
When his kiss finally ended, he looked at me and softly smiled. Don't tell me you were pretending.
Not at all. I was honestly feeling dizzy from the lack of oxygen. Then I heard you calling out from far away, and a moment later you were kissing me, so I just reacted.
He didn't sound at all apologetic about what he'd done. His attitude elicited a faint sigh of disgust from me. Well, I'm just glad you're okay. Now, explain to me what's going on in here?
Oh, sure. This is,
He flashed me a guilty look, then grabbed hold of one of the balloons.
Today's Couples Day, right? So, I decided to make a whole bunch of heart-shaped balloons and surprise you with them. Only it backfired when I grew dizzy, and you were forced to come save me. Talk about making a complete fool of myself. If I'd known this was going to happen, I would have taken you out to dinner and given you jewelry instead.
He sounded horribly embarrassed and hid his face behind the balloon afterwards. Knowing Lars, he probably spent a lot of time thinking up and preparing this surprise for me. That thought alone was enough to warm my heart. Listen, Lars, I'll admit this isn't the most romantic moment I can imagine. But I can feel your affection for me in each and every one of these balloons. And I appreciate that more than any restaurant or jewelry I can think of.
Do you really mean that?
Of course. Thank you, Lars. I love you very much. I pulled the balloon away from his face, then gave him an appreciative kiss.
Stop. I see. I told myself today I was going to show you how grateful I am for your affection. And if you keep this up, I'll only be falling further behind. So don't start kissing me.
Having said that, Lars abruptly wrapped his arms firmly around me.
I love you, Icy. I love you from the bottom of my heart, for being kind enough to accept me, despite how foolish I can be. And from now on, I'm going to strive a little harder each day to return your affection, even if it's not Couples Day. You don't mind that, right?
He gazed into my eyes as he spoke, then pressed his lips to mine with all the passion he could muster.